Okay, so I'm here with Jacques, who is with Munro Realty International.
How do you do?
Right? And you're answering some questions today.
I am.
About, so for me personally, hiring a realtor, I don't like sharing my money. I don't like giving commissions. So why can't we sell our house or buy a house on our own? Why do we have to buy a realtor? So you're going to answer that question for us today, and I'm going to fix your microphone while you're talking.
That sounds good, and our mascot's going to walk away, I'm sure.
No one can see him.
Otherwise, he could be able to help. Well, hiring a good agent will essentially save you money, and it should pay for itself.
How?
Well, if the person knows what he's doing or what she's doing, then she brings value to you. And so, for example, if you're buying a house, do you know where to go to buy a house? Do you know you have to choose the right area? You have to basically choose the right house. So an agent should be able to help you, number one, to set out a proper search and to see what's out there. So you can basically make your choice and then guide you within what you tell the agent to do.
Well, because real estate agents, they have access to the MLS. So you could simply go to Zillow and search for your own house. Why can't I do that?
Well, I mean, that's true, but how many houses do you buy in a year? And a good agent will represent, multiple people, and we'll see numerous houses, and so this is what they do. When they wake up, this is what they do. That's their profession.
Right. So, but I don't want to give them 6%. So what else can they do that brings value to me?
Well, I tell you what, when you're buying a house, you pay 0%. Because essentially, it's a technical way, but indirectly, the seller essentially pays the commission.
Okay, so the buyer doesn't pay the commission.
The buyer does not.
But if you're selling a house, you're going to pay the commission.
That is correct.
So bottom line is, there really is not really any risk in hiring a realtor to purchase a home.
That is correct.
It's the selling of the home where it costs you more money.
That is generally true. Sometimes a buyer will think, well, there's no commission, therefore I can buy it for a lower price. However, oftentimes the seller wants to save the commission. Right. There's only one commission to save.
Right. So when it comes to realtors, okay, so let's say, for example, I purchase a house. So let's take two different angles. Let's break it down as to why we would want to hire a realtor.
Okay.
So on the purchase of a home, what is the benefit of buying a realtor? Number one that we've established is you don't pay commission. It's the person who's selling the house that's going to pay the commission. What's the other benefit of hiring a realtor to purchase a home?
Advocacy. In other words, somebody with experience, and that's why it's crucial that you hire somebody that has as much experience as possible, somebody who's hardworking, somebody with proven results. And
what are we trying to avoid? When you buy a house, it's a legal transaction.
That is correct.
So the lawyer almost acts not the lawyer, the realtor almost acts as a lawyer.
Well, yeah, I mean, there'll be documents for you to sign. It's not only, agreeing upon a price, and then that's the end of the story. You have multiple steps within a real estate transaction, and there are things that could be beneficial to a seller versus others that could be beneficial to a buyer. And so what the real estate agent should be able to do is guide you and basically advocate for you through the entire transaction. So I would basically, I was thinking about this before you came over, and I was thinking, okay, well, how can we organize this? And I thought, number one, an agent is instrumental in helping you find, know the market and helping you find the perfect house. Number two, getting the right buy or getting the best buy that you possibly can to be able to kind of evaluate and say, okay, well, what are the circumstances? Anybody can make a low offer and try to negotiate, but sometimes if you have multiple offers, that's not the right thing to do. Sometimes maybe the home is underpriced, and so maybe the right thing to do is to steal at the price. Maybe it's to steal at over the asking price. Sometimes if you have multiple offers, that sometimes happens.
Right.
So to get good guidance and a professional who's going to help you is just absolutely crucial. And then the third thing is, I would say, know what you bought. So before you close, when you enter under contract, your whole due diligence period begins. And so basically, what you're buying, and if there are some issues, you can either, the agent will help you negotiate with the seller to resolve those issues prior to close, or in the alternative, what you could do is get a discount. Okay. So either get a credit or change the price or whatever.
Okay.
And these are things that not everybody knows to do.
Right.
And a good agent will know
exactly
to do them.
Okay, really quick, because I want to wrap this up. So when it comes to selling your home, give me a couple of reasons as to why you'd want to hire a realtor. Because I know that we purchased a home, the sellers did not have a realtor.
Right.
And they saved money on that commission.
Well, I mean, there are caveats, but as a general rule, who knows what they could have sold the house for?
Right.
So perhaps they undersold the house. The house was not properly exposed to the market. And in fact, if you recall, when I saw the home, I thought, well, we would be asking more for it.
Right. Right.
So,
See,
I mean,
and
that's
was
one
beneficial
example.
to me.
Yeah.
The sellers probably could have gotten more money for the house that I purchased if they would have hired a realtor. That I will agree.
Absolutely.
But
they were being penny wise and dollar foolish.
Yep, penny wise, dollar foolish. So if they would have hired a realtor to sell the home, they would have gotten more exposure.
A good real
But
estate
the benefit is I got the house for a bargain.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Well, that's because I was representing you.
Right, that's exactly right.
So, and that's just it. And that's important too. Know who your agent is representing.
Okay.
Because in Arizona, I mean, you can have a dual representation. It's more of a limited thing. But what happens is the agent becomes more of an arbitrator. So in other words, whereas, when you enter into a relationship with your real estate broker, basically it's a sacred trust.
Right.
And so they are beholden only to you and your interests, placing your interests above all others, including their own. I mean, for commission or whatever.
Right.
Typically the listing broker or the seller will have basically their own agent on the other side.
Okay.
But then if you have dual agents, then essentially the representation is watered down.
Great. Jacques, some great tips. We always appreciate it. You can get Jacques Munro on the Smart Shopper Facebook page. About every other week, he always has a great tip to offer. And if you need to get a hold of him, it's Munro Realty. And as always, don't forget, I'm Daphne Munro, your Smart Shopper. Have a fantastic day.